let's get this rolling. So, with no further ado, I would like to introduce Michelle Pepin and Rachel Ramos from Humanware, who are going to regale us with tales of Tactile View and show us how the product works. As many of you likely know, Tactile View is now included with all of the Humanware supplied Braille printers. And it is also available as a standalone product if you have purchased a Braille printer in the past and need to add it on. But it is a method for creating tactile graphics. And take it away, Michelle and Rachel.
Thank you very much, Steve. Good morning. I guess it's good morning for most of you. I'm on the East Coast, and I think Rachel as well is on the East Coast now. So, good morning to all of you. We're a small group, so we will definitely go. I do have a presentation, talk a little bit about the market trend, all of this. I'll share the agenda with you in a few seconds. But because of the small group, if you guys have questions during the presentation, please stop me. Either raise your hand, use the chat just to ask question away instead of waiting till the end. I think that'll be easier that way. I do have a presentation. Let me just put it on. Steve, can you tell me if you guys are seeing my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. If I do it like this.
Now we're starting to see it. Yep, there you go.
So you've got the PowerPoint getting in touch with Tactile View.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect. Perfect. Let me just switch on to this one here. Oh, a bit too fast here. Okay, so once again, this is a webinar for the Tactile View solution, basically just to really talk about this new solution that Humanware has acquired a few months ago. So Tactile View now is a software that it's owned by Humanware, and of course, just like any Humanware product, we will definitely get the full benefit of it and develop more features and application for the device going forward. So part of the agenda of the presentation, I'll briefly go to what is a tactile graphic. What are some of the challenges that we see today when it comes to tactile graphic or creating tactile graphic, and then move on a bit to the current landscape. Some of the barrier to accessibility as well. I mean, they are some barriers.
Did we lose Michelle?
I think he's muted, maybe.
And what's in store for the future. So you have a kind of a glimpse of what we're going to be working on and making sure that we add to it. And Rachel will take you into a demonstration or two on how she can create tactile graphic. And you'll see what I mean by that through the presentation as well. So I always want to start with this quote from Albert Einstein, because one picture, sorry, is definitely worth 1,000 words. I mean, the quote really highlights the power and the impact of the visual representation and communication. And of course, we're seeing more and more of these visual representation when we're looking at the world around us. However, we know that for a lot of people with vision impairment, that's not the case, and it really puts them at some disadvantage. Whether it's textbooks, magazine, newspaper, even digital content now are becoming more and more image focused. So this is why it's really important to have a tool that allows to create tactile information for the visually impaired, and making it as easy and simple as possible, and also making it accessible. So you'll see that the way we create tactile information will definitely change. And Tactile View really is a software that allows to really capture this essence of creating imagery through a software that is fully accessible for people with vision impairment. So what is a tactile graphic? Once again, I'm not going to overextend myself on this, but we're really talking about images that are raised on the surface, whether it is with an embosser, with what we call a swell paper type of raised lines, allowing people with vision impairment to be able to feel them and see the context or the texture of the image that is represented either on the paper or even now on a multi-line tactile braille display. So it is a non-textual information, of course, and it should include braille label. That's what most tactile graphics should be aiming at or should be able to offer. So if we're looking at tactile pictures, tactile diagram, maps, when it comes to education, whether it is pie charts, anything related to math and STEMs, this once again allow the user to get access to a visual information that we as sighted people see through imagery, either on our computer or through books and magazines that we read. So graphics may take up multiple pages once again. So that includes keys, and there's various patterns to represent the shading differentiation within all of these different image. Pattern differentiation for the color and the physical feature as well. So there is different guidelines that are available through Braille Authority. I did put a link here to the guideline and standard for tactile graphic, which is the link to the BANA standard. So once again, it's if you want to know more about those standards, and we're talking about really the standards that need to be followed when creating tactile graphic. But you'll see as well that what's out there today and what we aim to do with Tactile View is somewhat a little bit different. However, we're still following all of these different standard and guideline through the production or the manufacture of the Tactile View software. So some of the challenges today, just once again, a glimpse here that when we look at it, so what is being used in the classroom right now? So does that create some challenges? Can tactile graphic be introduced to assist in becoming more proficient for Braille readers and Braille writers? Is the technology becoming too complex? The software too hard to use? Are they accessible? Do we have enough time? I know that for a lot of, when we're talking about education specifically, we're talking about working with Braillists, but does every school have a Braillist? Do we have access to the content and so on? So these are kind of some challenges. I'm giving you kind of an overview here, but if we look at some of the existing challenge, once again, based on feedback that we hear through our traveling and our workshops that we do, of course, the complexity, time to create as well definitely represents some key challenges, especially with schools or organization that don't necessarily have a Braillist that has been trained in creating those tactile graphic. Is the technology up to date? What kind of technology are they using? If it's not up to date or if it's too complicated, are they just putting those on the shelf and not looking at it, which is, once again, not a good way of being able to make tactile graphic available for people with students or people with vision impairment. The interpretation of the designer as well. I mean, it's one thing you're creating it, but how is it transferred to the actual user? Are they able to perceive and understand what the designer of the tactile graphic was wanted to do? Some of the materials, are we looking at hardware material, software material? And I do have a picture of some wiki sticks, and which is part of the challenge as well. The wiki sticks, which I guess for a lot of people with vision impairment, especially in the early days, were the way of creating such graphic and being able to interact with the graphic and being a little bit more flexible. But of course, the wiki sticks, are something of the past. I think there's still a good learning process, but there's, as I mentioned, the technology today offers ways to create graphics in a simpler way, and of course, a more durable way as well. Storage as well. So where are these graphics stored? Are they accessible easily? Can they get misplaced or deleted and so on? And the size and limitation of the paper based on, if you want to do the whole map of the United States, let's say if you're using 8.5 by 11, your map will probably be very small. So once again, is the user going to be able to understand what is the graphic they have under their fingers? And of course, Braille and tactile knowledge with going from 3Ds to 2Ds, whether it is Braille, not Braille printing, but 3D printing that is being used to, once again, 2D tactile graphic on Braille paper. So the current landscape is what we're seeing is, of course, people self-creating their own tactile graphics. So using their own material, imagination, ideas, imagery as well. APH does have a very extensive tactile graphic library, and they do have some graphic kits as well that can be used to create and be able to use the repository that they have access to. There is hardware devices such as a braille doodle that can be used as well to create graphic. We're really talking about creating it on the go. This is not a software or a hardware connected through a software to computer. This is really basic braille learning device and allowing you to basically create something on the tablet itself, a little tablet shape. Once again, it's hardware type of solution. Of course, there's a variety of software solutions such as Corel Draw, Tiger Design, Firebird, and of course, the Tactile View. There are other I would say other material, other technology that can be used. There's dynamic tactile devices such as a Cadence, the Monarch, the DotPad with multi-line braille, dynamic braille displays, allowing you to reproduce some of these tactile just through using a software. I mentioned earlier on, there's 3D printing. Of course, Embosser, the whole idea is being able to create a graphic. We're not going to be using a dynamic tactile braille display, at least a multi-line braille display. Then the Embossers really becomes the solution to create the imagery through braille, raised braille dots to create this the graphic that we want to provide or show our user. And of course, there's multi-line braille displays I mentioned on. There's different braille art. WikiSticks would be one. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier on as well, there's other technologies such as PIAF, which uses swell paper. So it raises the whatever graphic or whatever imagery that we've put on that swell paper, it will raise the lines. Once again, making it a learning experience, understanding, I would probably say more basic type of graphic. But if we want to go into more detail, then this is where a software that will have feature and allowing you to create more detailed information into your graphic will be very useful. What are some of the barriers that we see when creating tactile graphic? First of all, a visually impaired person cannot easily create tactile graphic from scratch. Unless, as I said, they're using specific software. They can definitely use some repositories, the tactile graphic library. There's software such as MS Word, Tiger Design, as I mentioned early on, most of the tactile graphics software in the marketplace are not accessible to a screen reader or for someone with vision impairment that wants to create their own tactile graphic. So there is no way to review or modify existing tactile graphic with the current software, current product in the market. Most of them will have limited access to additional catalog or library, tactile graphic library. They can import some design or some pictures or some graphic or imagery, I should call them, but then be able to reproduce this through the various different software that's out there, but they won't be able to make any type of changes. They won't be able to modify the image that they set out to put into a tactile graphic. So the lack of resources as well of showcasing screen readers access and then graphic software, that's also a barrier to creating these content. And lack of blind participation, as I mentioned, most of these software are not designed and are not accessible for people with vision impairment to create their own. So we rely more on image library itself, software that's out there, of course, through the different support they have, whether it's in school or at work, from the brailleist to be able to create these different tactile graphic. What is? Yeah. Oh, yes. Was there a question? I just heard a big noise. Okay.
Just a reminder for folks, if you are not commenting, it's probably best to keep yourself muted, just to keep out the background noise.
Good point, Steve. So when it comes to these different software out there, it's not a new one. Tactile View has been on the market for quite some time. It is new, though, that Humanware acquired it and added it to our product portfolio. And of course, our goal is to be able to make it very accessible, to be more flexible as well, and then make sure that we keep building on what made Tactile View very popular until now. So it is a tactile creation suite that allows you to create simple but yet powerful tactile graphic. It is a software that is fully accessible, so anyone with vision impairment can access it, and you'll see in a few minutes when Rachel gives you a demonstration of creating, and I'll let Rachel decide what she wants to create, but she'll be able to show you how to create different graphic from scratch. And Rachel is totally blind, so once again, just to show the power of being able to use some a software that offers full accessibility for people with vision impairment. It was designed for screen reader, and it was designed by a blind developer as well. So of course, that's where the accessibility side comes from. But the whole idea was also to make it as simple to use as possible. It is, and then the reason we're saying it's simple, it is driven by menus and shortcuts. So making it very, very easy, user-friendly to create those different graphics. And of course, I mentioned here, you're able to also create braille labels within the graphic and then move that around. So we'll see in some of the features as well here, some of the important feature of what you will be able to find with the Tactile View solution. Whether you're starting from scratch, creating your own imagery, or you want to import images, the Tactile View software or the Tactile View menu will allow you to filter some images and really make them come alive. Whether you're using JPEG, bitmap, sorry, BNG, and so on, you will be able to basically import those images and interact with the image as well. So meaning that the image itself will be accessible. And then before, if you want to make some changes to it, you'll be able to make the changes, realign, make the line larger, change some of the format of that image, especially if you want to add a legend to it or any type of braille labels as well. The Tactile View allows you to use multiple embossers, so there's no kind of limit in terms of mainstream embossers that you can use to create, or at least to emboss the imagery or the graphic that you want to give to your user, your students. So whether it's the Humanware embossers or what we used to refer as enabling embossers, Romeo and Juliet, the index embossers as well, the View Plus embosser, and so on. So all the mainstream embossers are fully supported with Tactile View. One of its feature in the menu as well, and I think Rachel will demonstrate that as well, is you're able to add texture to your graphic. What do I mean by this is being able to, once again, whether you import an image, you start from scratch, or you're using the image library, you're able to take that picture and make the line thicker, make the line bigger, and then really interact with the image itself so that you can reproduce the graphic that you want to offer, and not necessarily go with the format that was presented on the image itself. I mentioned earlier on, there's ways as well. Part of the feature is being able to add braille label. We do support multiple braille tables, so you're able to add those labels to any document, any graphics that you're creating. There is also access to a catalog and templates that are built in. I mentioned the APH Tactile Library. So of course, it's one way of getting access to a lot of content that's already created instead of creating from scratch. But Tactile View also comes with some imagery through its catalog menu, and there's template as well, allowing you to start creating. Instead of creating from scratch, you can start from a template and just expand from it. What I really like about this is the fact that you can open an existing graphic, as I mentioned, and then make any changes you want to it. So that's kind of unique to the Tactile View software, and it's in my book a very strong feature as well for this software. There is audio tags that can be added, so it's basically audio input via the software, probably more not necessarily for an embosser, but more for to be added as part of the graphic for braille display. So if there's an audio feature, you'll be able to, especially multi-line braille displays, you'll be able to view that audio file and then being able to either read it or listen to it on the braille displays. And just to finish a little bit on the feature itself, I mean, some other features you can expect to see and have with Tactile View. There's map module, sorry. So when creating map, once again, if you want to create the map of Canada for your students, you can create the whole country or just go a province itself or even a section, and allowing you to scaling have a function for scaling. So you can basically decide on the size that you want to reproduce here to make it easier for the visually impaired user to be able to read or see the context and the contour of any given map that you're creating. I mentioned earlier on that there's different filters that can be applied as well. So once again, be able to interact with your graphic, whether it's rotating it, adding colors, lines, making lines thicker, and so on. Those filters comes really handy as well, and once again adds to the flexibility of the Tactile View software. I definitely didn't want to mention that there is MAT support, so it does support all MAT ML content, whether you're creating just an XY table, pie chart, and so on, so for MAT purposes. And it is fully convertible to UEB, because I know UEB, there's more the format that can be converted to, but I know in Canada, UEB is the go-to by default. But if you're using Nemit, you can also do the same for Nemit. It does offer full compatibility with Duxbury. So if you're already working with Duxbury, then you can basically work with the two of them, overlay them as well to create the graphic or create the all of the information, or add the information by using multiple software. And of course, I didn't want to finish this feature of Tactile View by mentioning that it's fully compatible with Monarch. So now, if you're using Tactile View, if you have students that are going to start using Monarch or are using Monarch, you can definitely push those graphics directly to the Monarch, and they'll be able to, with of course, the multi-line braille display, they'll be able to view those. Interact with the graphics as well, based on the feature that Monarch offers in terms of being able to zoom in and zoom out. Once again, depending on the format that the graphic was saved under.
Hey, Michelle, we have a
Yes.
question. There's a hand
Yes.
up. Carolyn, do you want to go
Caroline.
ahead and ask your question?
Yes, I got a couple of questions. First off, is the version 3 more accessible than version 2.5?
I'll definitely defer to Rachel for that one.
Okay. And then the other question is, I'm wondering if there's somebody I can reach out to. I have a VersaPoint V3 embosser, and I have it configured to work with Tactile View, but it doesn't work unless I import my view image into Duxbury and emboss that way. So I'm having some issues with that, and just some other things. And I haven't known really who to reach out to get some help with that.
You're saying, okay, so you're using a VersaPoint, but do you have Tactile View? Are you using Tactile View as
Yes,
well as
I have
Duxbury?
2.5.
Okay.
And I'm trying to justify the upgrade because I'm paying off 2.5, but they won't let me upgrade to 3.
Okay. Rachel, I guess I'll defer to you for in terms of flexibility from version 2.5 to version 3.
Yeah.
What's your take on this? Because you've used the Tactile View a lot more than I do.
I've used it a bit. So, Caroline, I guess we might just have to do a comparison. I used 2.5 a little bit, and then we were upgraded to version 3. So the menus are all still there, which of course kind of drives the accessibility. But if you could give me maybe an example, either here or offline, however it's easiest for us to get in touch with each other, and tell me, okay, this is how this works in 2.5. Could you tell me if it's better in 3? 3.0 seems to be pretty solid from my experience. So I would say definitely worth the upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk more examples
Yep.
later on.
Okay. Okay.
And you think, Rachel, I guess my question is, if she's already using Tactile View 2.5 with the Versa Point, she should be able to upgrade to 3.0
To
and
3,
still
and
use the
yeah,
same embosser. Yeah,
exactly. That's my understanding as
yeah,
well.
that would be mine as well.
Yeah, I know it's an older embosser, but that's what I've got.
But if it already support, if your embosser is supported by Tactile View, I doubt, as I mentioned, we didn't change anything in terms of
Right.
embosser support, so it should support. As I said, we need to try it,
Yeah.
but I'd be really surprised if it didn't.
Well, I'm not so worried about it not working as much as I am just trying to get everything to play nicely together.
To play nicely.
Yeah. And right now it's not. So.
And we can, as I said, we could definitely, as Rachel mentioned, anything specific or just in terms of support, we can definitely work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And finding out what's the best way to make those, whether it's Dogsbury with Tactile View and so on, so that the software really cohabit together and works well.
Right.
And
Okay.
talking about version 3.0, let's look at pricing and availability. I mean, it is fully available right now, so it is ready for anyone that wants to use the version 3.0. A single license does retail for $775. For you, for example, Caroline, you're already using 2.5, so if you have an existing license, you can update it for $255. As Steve mentioned earlier on as well, it is the Tactile View software comes free with any Humanware embosser though, Steve. It's not any Humanware distributed embosser. So it doesn't apply to the index embosser, but it does apply to the Romeo and Juliet embossers. So if you're shopping for embossers, and of course you're looking for tactile graphic software, then that would be a very good match to get the Tactile View with a Romeo or a Juliet. With this, let's quickly look at what are we working on? What do we want to do with the Tactile View software? Well, the first of all is making sure that we retain the current functionality, and it's what we've done in migrating from version 2.5 to 3.0. So once again, finding ways to simplify the way you use the software, make it more accessible, flexible if we can along the way. We definitely want to enhance the audio with dynamic displays to support touch. So once again, and any devices such as a dot pad, the Monarch, we want to make sure that we want to enhance any type of audio tag or alt text that we can add to the graphic, and then to be fully or well represented on those touch braille display. And of course, integrate additional repositories. So basically expanding the current catalog that is part of the Tactile View. We're not mimicking, I don't think we want to mimic what APH is doing, but we want to be able to give access to a wide variety of existing images that can be turned into graphics, or at least interact with into graphics. Of course, ensuring the compatibility with a new eBraille file standard that's coming, fingers crossed, coming out very shortly. For those of you who are going to be part of the Canadian Braille conference this Friday, Willow from APH is actually doing a presentation on eBraille, talking about where we're at, how what the standard is going to be all about, and when it's going to be released to start creating this new file standard that will allow every Braille display to be able to get access to the Braille in their fingertips a lot faster in the different ways that the current standards are. And of course, being cohesion with other tactile display. Of course, it's not just the Monarch here. We're talking about any other Braille display as well that users have in their hands and want to use a Tactile View software to provide better and more powerful graphics. And like any other product, we're always looking into AI. So if there's any AI possibility, this is definitely something that we'll investigate and add to the existing software. That being said, I think I will turn it to Rachel, and Rachel will give us a couple of demos as well, just showing you how easy it is to start creating a graphic, whether you are fully sighted or visually impaired. So take it away, Rachel.
Right. Thanks, Michelle. Let's get my screen share going here, and we will
Sharing too.
dive into Tactile View. Let's see here.
While you're preparing this, Rachel, Rohit had a
Bracket,
question
tactile
that
view,
he
bracket, tactile view.
posted. His question was, is there a maximum limit per license for the number of embossers? So I would presume that we're not
don't
tagged to any
think
type
so.
of embossers.
No.
No, we're not tagged to any embossers. You're tagged to the license on your computer, or the computer you're going to be using to install Tactile View to create the graphic, but then you can just basically send it to print on any embossers, either part of a network or just being your home desktop embosser.
Yeah, the only limit would be if you wanted to install Tactile View on more than one computer, and I don't know if the license includes, 3 installs. I'm not sure, but that's something we can look into.
Yep.
All right, excellent question. Okay, are you guys seeing the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, and no, and I wanted to add, he just Rod just added, and how well will it suit our requirement? They have over 40 embossers. Definitely something we can discuss offline, Rod, but it shouldn't be a problem. Once again, you could have a central person with Tactile View creating the graphic, and then it can be sent to multiple embossers altogether.
Thanks, Michelle.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Actually, I didn't want to interrupt you because let's say for our requirement, this will be one different software for each unit because it's not us who are using it. It's the school authority.
It's the school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
No, you're right. You're right. But the thing, okay, so your question being then, if a school's braille is in one specific school, if they have access to 5 embossers, they'll be able to send to those 5 embossers. But of course, each school will probably have their own network, and so that each school would have to create, the brailleist would have to have a license and create its content for their surrounding.
Okay. And then new embossers, if we are planning to buy the new ones, how it works on that? I believe it comes with the software, right?
It comes, the software comes free with every embosser, but then once again, that's one license. And as Rachel mentioned, I need to look into is one license, can one license be installed on more than just one computer? So they might take, I think we wanted to offer a little bit of flexibility, but I need to figure out if it's just one for one, or if it's one for 2, 1 for 3. But I'll definitely look into this and get back to you.
Sure. Yeah, because the newsletter, when it came out, Bob was excited. So we are digging more about it. So I asked, okay, let's wait for the webinar.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great questions. All right, Michelle, are we seeing the screen?
Yep, we're
Tactile View?
absolutely.
Okay.
You're on screen right now.
Oops,
Screen sharing meeting controls. Task switching. Tactile view dash left bracket.
All right. And you guys are hearing the screen reader as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. So thanks, Michelle. That was a really thorough presentation, introduction, kind of saying where we started out from, which was wiki sticks and rubber bands and thumbtacks. And
Rubber bands.
There could still be a place for physical graphs because they teach foundational skills and concepts that someone needs to have before we look into creating digital graphs. And then it's where it gets really fun, is creating a digital graph. So I have here Tactile View, and I'm just going to show you that there is a menu-driven design. So if I press
document window,
my Alt key, and I'm just going to right arrow through some of these menu items.
File F, print E, design D, edit E, view V, filters I, portal O, graphs G.
And there's lots of different options here, as you guys can hear and see. And to start out, I'm going to create an image from scratch. So I want to go to my tools menu. So I can keep arrowing across, or I can press Alt and T.
Menu-driven design, Control plus LM.
All right. It said menu-driven design, Control L. We're going to get there because each item, if you will, that you put on Tactile View's canvas is called an object. So you can think of menu-driven design. Why is it Control L? It's Control L because this will list your objects. So by default, you have a title object, which we'll get into more detail here in a few moments. And then you have whichever object you've put on the canvas. So I'm going to start out and go down the tools menu so we can see some of the objects that I can choose from, and then I can edit as desired. So I'm just going to press the down arrow.
Set mouse at position, Control plus M, A. Select area, A. Detect shape, T. Retouching, erase left parent, draw straight line left parent, line thickness 1 right parent, S.
Yeah, I can draw a straight line. You see there's a lot of retouching options here.
Draw square / rectangle left parent, line thickness 1, transparent, no texture right parent, W.
Okay, we have a lot of information there, but the thing we're interested in is I want to draw a square, and I can, of course, arrow down to it, or if I need to get to it quickly, I can just press Alt-T for tools and W to choose the square. So I'm going to press Enter.
Leaving menus, size and position, square / rectangle 1 dialog, alias : edit.
Okay, the first option is alias. That is if I need to label this object. If I have a lot of objects, then I need to know, oh yes, this is my square. But I'm going to press Tab because we're just going to work with one object for now.
Position of the upper left corner, distance to left edge left parent, inch right parent, edit 1.000.
So the first option is the distance from the corner to where the square begins. It's 1 inch. So we can leave that there. That's fine. It's going to be in the upper regions of our canvas here. I'm going to press Tab again.
Position of the upper left corner, distance to top edge left parent, inch right parent, edit 2.000.
Okay, so now this is 2 inches from the top of my paper. I can leave that here, or I can simply press 1. Let's say if I want my square to be 1 inch from the left, and let's say 1 inch from the top. Okay, so I pressed 1.
1. Size enlarge / reduce left parent, ratio between width and height will remain the same, right parent, radio button checked 1 of 2.
That was a lot of information, but you heard there is a radio button. And all it's saying is, do we want the width and height of the square to remain the same? If I wanted to make a rectangle, I would go to this next radio button. I'm going to down arrow so you can hear what that is.
Size stretch left parent, the width and height can be adapted independently, right parent, radio button checked 2 of 2.
Okay, size stretch. So if I wanted to change this into a square that has a different width and a different height, I don't want to make a rectangle, so I'm going to leave this first radio button checked where everything is the same.
Size enlarge /
Okay, pressing Control, and now I'm going to press Tab.
Size width left parent, inch right parent, edit 1.000.
Okay, now we get to decide how big do I want this square to be. Right now it's just on 1 inch. I'm going to make it a little larger. I'm going to type in 2, and we're going to make a 2-inch square. I'm going to tab.
2. Size height left parent, inch right parent, edit 2.000.
And my height is already set to 2. So it's a 2-inch by 2-inch square. Press tab.
OK button.
And it brings me to the OK button. So that was just a very simple and intuitive dialogue that I got to through the menus. And I'm going to press Enter.
Tactile View 2.
Okay. Now I'm back on my canvas with a lovely square. But let's say that I want to put a label onto this square, not onto it, but kind of to the right of it, just so I know when I emboss this, or if I chose to put it on the monarch, I would know what I'm looking at. So this is where this menu-driven design comes in. Control L, or you can always go to the tools menu and choose it from there. I'm a big fan of keyboard shortcuts, so I'm going to press Control L.
Control L. List of labels and objects. Dialog. After selection of a label or object, the corresponding context menu can be opened to edit the properties. Design size : left bracket 7.000 10.8.
Okay, I'm going to hit Control because there's a lot of information being spoken there. But what it's saying is you have options of how you want to edit certain objects. So you have, in this case, our square, or like I mentioned earlier, we have by default a title. So we know what in the world this shape is. So I'm going to press up arrow. Actually, I'm going to tab first.
List ordered and : object number radio button checked 1 of 4.
Okay, so as you design more complex tactile graphics, you may have a lot more objects. How do we want these objects ordered? Well, by number seems to be sequential, and I'm going to leave that radio button as it is. I'm going to press tab.
List view 1 square / rectangle 1 1.00 1.0.
Okay, I'm pressing Control to stop the speech. So this is our object. You can see it's giving the dimensions of where it's located from the left of the page to the top of the page. That's 1 inch from the left and 1 inch from the top. And then we have, of course, the square itself is 2 inches by 2 inches. So that's the square. But remember, we do have a title. So I'm going to press up arrow.
Title text label 10.250 0.250 inch characters per line : 27 lines : 1 characters : 6 size : 1.500 inch 0 degrees braille table n-ueb-g2.ctb not checked 1 of 2.
All right. I let that play out so you could hear all that information. And what it said is it was giving us the dimensions of the object or the label, where it's located from the top and from the left. And then it was giving us the braille table, because what we can do here is I'm going to press spacebar to check the object.
Checked.
Now it's selected. So now when I choose to edit it with my context menu, the program knows what I'm trying to edit, not my square, but my title. So you can press enter here and open up this context menu, but I'm also going to press tab so you can get the full effect of the dialogue.
Open context menu button.
Okay, it said open context menu. I'm going to press enter, and remember, because we checked this title, this is what I'm going to edit.
Move in a specific direction M.
So I can move my label.
Text and position : computer keyboard input text label 1 left parent position.
I'm going to press the control. Now I just pressed down arrow, and this is the option that we want. You have a computer braille table, and this is where I'm going to label it. So I'm going to press enter.
Leaving menus. Open context menu button. List of labels and objects ... dialog. After selection of a label or object, the corresponding context menu can be opened.
Okay.
Select braille table for contents left parent braille characters : 6 lines : 1 right parent.
So if I had a braille keyboard that I wanted to use, I can certainly do that. But I'm just going to use the regular QWERTY keyboard now, and I'm going to type in my label. And just to keep it general, I'm going to call it shapes.
Contents left parent braille characters :
Okay.
6 shapes S Sierra.
I have the shapes word in there, and because this will translate into braille, then I can be asked what table do I want to use. So I'm going to press tab.
Select braille table for this text label : combo box. Main table left parent n-ueb-g2.ctb right parent 1 of 242.
So there's a lot of options here. The one that I have chosen is an English UEB in Braille, but if I wanted to change this so that it would appear in Braille in another language or a different table, I could just press the down arrow and go through 242 different options. I'm going to leave that as it is and press tab.
Change default braille table ... button.
If I wanted to, I could change the default Braille table. I'm perfectly fine with English UEB, so I'll leave that as it is.
Add a character by double-clicking. List view not selected. 1 of 480.
Okay. I'm just pressing tab to go through the dialogue, and if a brailleist or transcriber or tactile graphics artist of some kind wanted to add additional characters and they weren't sure how to do that in Braille, there's a handy list there that they can insert additional characters with.
Distance to left edge left parent inch right parent : edit 0.250.
All right. Now, this is where we get to start manually moving labels. There is options in the context menu. You can rotate, you can center the label, but we are going to move it manually. So the first dimension that it is telling me is it is 0.25 inches. Now remember, our square is 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the left. So if we left this label 0.25 inches from the left and 0.25 inches from the top, it would cover our square. So it would overlap and would not be legible. So because we have a 1 inch from the left and a 2-inch square, I'm going to move this over, we'll say 3.5 inches, just to be safe, so we can be sure that it's still within range of the square, but it is not running into the square. So I can just type in 3.5.
5. Distance to top edge left parent inch right parent colon edit 0.250.
Now, the label called shapes is 3.5 inches over, so on the right-hand side of your page. And the top, that's fine. It can be 1/4 of an inch from the top because it's past the square and it's not going to run into it. So I won't be changing that. But if I wanted to, I simply can just type in the number that I want in inches to move it over. If you're working in another system, such as metric, you can change this in those increments accordingly.
Word wrap length left parent between 10 and 200.
Okay, so that's word wrap. If wanted to make sure that things aren't cluttered or running into each other, I can adjust that.
Adjust word wrap length to fit within design checkbox not checked. OK button.
And I'm just tabbing and I'm going to press OK.
Tactile view dash left bracket tactile view 2 right bracket list of labels and objects dialog after selection of.
Now, because we have multiple objects, it got me back to this list. Remember, Control L is our list of objects. And if I wanted to, I could change the square. But our square is pretty good. We have it where we want it. It's a simple square. We have the dimensions. So I don't think I need to make any more changes to this particular list of objects. So I'm going to press Tab.
List of labels and objects dialog after select undo object left parent S right parent selection button.
Now I could undo my object if I've selected the wrong one.
Add text label or object button.
I can add another object, like a triangle or circle or line or anything else.
Sketch with MDA button. OK button.
Sketch with MDA, multi-drawing arm, or OK. I just want to show you some additional options in the context menu, how we can move objects. So I am going to tab back around.
Edit designs, list ordered and list view 1 square / rect. Shape 1 square / rectangle not checked. Open context menu button.
Okay, so this is our square. I can press enter on open context menu or enter on the shape itself.
Move in a specific direction M.
I can move it.
Text and position : computer keyboard in.
If I wanted to label my square, I could do that.
Rotation left parent or use shift plus scroll right parent left parent angle 0 degrees right parent R. Remove white space left parent additional line spacing A. Switch text label alignment off checked A. Center C. Select braille table left parent text label presentation on screen X.
Okay, so you can see there's lots of different options. I can rotate it. If I know the particular angle, right now it's at 0 degrees, I could add that in manually. You could center your square. You can do all these things all from the menus. In this case, I'm going to leave it where I put it originally. So I'll just press escape.
Leaving menus open
and then I can jump to the OK button either by tabbing or shift tabbing or pressing Alt and O.
Move in a specific direction. Leaving menus. List or edit OK. Sketch OK but tactile view 2.
Okay. And here is my square. Now I have 2 more things that I want to show you. So the first is going to be related to the Monarch. Tactile View 3.0 has implemented a new mode called Monarch mode, and it's found either on the toolbar or I'm going to go locate it in the print menu, and I'm going to press Alt P to get there.
Alt print setup I.
Here's print setup, and I'm just going to down arrow and show you guys some of these options.
Braille after ink printing mode B. Monarch mode M.
Okay, here's Monarch mode. Now this, I'm going to press enter.
Leaving menus. Monarch mode settings dialog. OK button.
And I'll tab.
Cancel button. Monarch mode active checkbox not checked.
Now you hear Monarch mode active. It is not checked. I'm going to check it.
Checked.
And then tab.
Initial document size combo box. Letter 1 of 15.
So I have lots of different document sizes based on letter, legal, and so on.
OK button. Cancel but export to PDF settings. Export document always as one page. Radio button checked. 2 of 2.
Now, when we print files for Monarch use, they are saved as PDFs. So this export as one page is a helpful option to have.
Monarch mode active. Checkbox checked.
And if I escape from this, then you can kind of see how your image, if you're sighted, will appear on the Monarch display itself. And then you can adjust the size and dimensions accordingly.
Cancel. OK button. Tactile View 2.
So that's more kind of a preview. Now, the next option I want to show you is print to PDF for Monarch. I'm going to press Alt-P to get to my print menu.
Alt print setup ... unavailable. Braille F.
And I'm just pressing the down arrow here.
Monarch print ... print preview. Sketch with MD8. Print multiple designs. Print to PDF. Left parent for Monarch. Right parent ... P.
Okay, and this is the option I want. Print to PDF for Monarch. So if I press enter.
Leaving menus. Save as dialog. File name : edit combo.
And this is your standard Windows save as dialog, which means I can call this file, square prepared for Monarch, and then save it to a flash drive, or I could email it to myself. And then when I pull up this file on the Monarch, it will open in the tactile viewer, and I will see my label that I called shapes. It's over on the right past my square, just where I put it. And you can feel exactly what you've done in tactile view. So that is Monarch mode and print to PDF for Monarch. Now, just know that Monarch mode does not have to be active for the print to PDF for Monarch option to be active. As mentioned, Monarch mode is more a visual preview of how will your image look when it's put on a Monarch. If you're a blind person using this program, you're fine with just putting your objects on your canvas and then choosing print to PDF for Monarch and viewing it that way.
Tactile View 2.
Okay. We talked about repositories, and I'd love to jump over to the portal really quickly and show you how you can import an image from Tactile View. We talked about APH's Tactile Graphics Image Library. We talked about, Monarch has a catalog, and hopefully in the future, we can put some efforts and resources into uniting these repositories, because I think that would help as we have additional braillists and transcribers and tactile graphics artists coming on board and using Tactile View. We can all benefit from each other's graphs and our associated creations. So I'm going to jump into the portal menu, show you guys real quick how this works.
Alt download and edit design from catalog. D.
Okay, so I pressed Alt and O to the shortcut key, or you could have arrowed to the right to get to the portal menu. And the first option, download design from catalog.
Compose map, C.
Or, as Michelle was talking about, the map module, this is a compose map option. And that is where you can, of course, compose a map of whatever landscape or range that you would like to do. And then you can save that as per usual and put that either through an embosser or put it on a digital device like the Monarch.
Download and edit design from catalog. D.
So I'll just show you this real quick. Download and edit design from catalog. I'm going to press enter.
Leaving menus. Tactile View 2. Download and edit design from catalog dialog. Skip to menu for current website : tactile view same.
So this is like a mini web page that comes up, and I'm just going to navigate with quick nav keys to jump through it real fast.
Wrapping to top. Designs left parent 3510, right parent heading level 1.
So 3,510 designs. I'm going to down arrow real quick so you can hear how this sounds.
See the designs that have been recently added or find the design using a keyword. For an overview, select a category from the list or start with one main category. Link recent additions. Keyword or number. Edit.
So I can put in a keyword, or if I knew the number, I can put that in here and pull it up.
Search as word button. Search as part of a word button. View the designs on blank. Combo box 20. Search heading level 1. Link all in tactile view left pair blank. Visited link animals left parent 377.
Okay, so there's all in tactile view. These are just categories now. Animals.
Blank. Link architecture left parent 79
Architecture.
right pair.
And so on. So you press enter, it loads the page. You can then get into more granular detail of, okay, like I chose animals and then it was on the farm, and you'll see I'm going to flip over to a different window real quick, and I will have downloaded a lovely picture of a cow from this catalog.
Tactile view dash left bracket. Tactile view 2 right bracket.
Okay, so this is tactile view 2. This is my square. and I'm going to press Control Tab to go into.
Co884.bpx.
This is now a lovely image of a cow. I should save this as a PDF and put it on the Monarch so I can see what it looks like. But that is the portal and the catalog access. So if you have Tactile View, or you want to see what images are already there, that is a great resource that you can do to pull these up. And then, as Michelle mentioned, there are also templates. So if you don't want to create from scratch, you can import an image that you already have. You can filter. If you want to just make an image a line drawing, that will really clean it up. So sometimes images, if you just download them from places online, they're obviously not meant for tactile graphics, and you need to do a little cleanup, and that's where the filters are really helpful. As Michelle mentioned, you can also change thickness of lines. You can add text labels. There's a ton you can do, all in the menu structure, which is fantastic. It's just an excellent way to be able to create graphics. One final thing I'm going to show is the graph builder. So create a new document here.
Hey, Rachel.
Yes.
Carolyn's got another question here for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Caroline.
Sorry, I was in a different window. I just wanted to comment about the licensing, because I know for my license, it is for one computer only.
Yeah, I actually
Perfect.
looked it up. It is a single computer license. You can, however, email Humanware to reset that license so that you can install it on another computer. And when you do that, the original email that was used to register the license will be emailed to let them know that the license has been removed.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Thanks, Stephen. I looked it up as well while Rachel was doing the demo.
Perfect. No, that's super helpful. Awesome. All right. I know are nearing the end of our time here, so we'll just quickly jump into building graphs if that's something that you
Tactile view dash left bracket tactile view 3 right
would find useful in your school or other environments. So I'm going to jump to the graphs menu. I can Alt and arrow to it, or I'm going to press Alt G.
Alt information I.
And we're going to go down to add a formula with a custom keyboard input. So I'm going to down arrow real quick.
Coordinate system left formulas and graph formulas. Add custom graph keyboard input K.
And the hotkey here is K. Now press enter.
Leaving menus. Formula 1 dialog. Enter the correct syntax to get a plot of the desired formula and select a mathematical notation for the corresponding text label. Make sure to check.
There's a lot of information there, but it's telling us what this dialog is expecting. And then, of course, just make sure that things are accurate as well.
Text label representation of Formula 1 combo box. Linear text 2 of 9.
Okay, we can have linear text. I can down arrow here.
Free text 3 of 9.
Free text.
Marburg, Nemeth 5 of 9. UK Maths, Sitla TX 7 of 9. Dedekin left parent NL right parent. UEB-Math 9 of 9.
Okay, so this also supports UAB or Nemeth Math, and that's how your text is going to appear. So I'm going to jump into the text now. I left it on UAB.
Text label of Formula 1 read only edit. Y equals edit.
So here is the start of my formula. It's Y equals, and I can simply type X plus, let's say 2. And that's a little line there. And I've just typed that on my computer keyboard. If you are using a Braille keyboard, you would type that in according to the math code that you chose. So UEB or Nemeth.
2. Text label representation of formula.
I'm just tabbing through the options now.
Text label of Formula 1 read only edit. Y equals X plus 2.
That's how the formula is going to look.
Line style of Formula 1 combo box. Line 1 of 4. Dot 2 of 4. Dash 3 of 4. Long / short broken 4.
So these are different styles of formulas. I'm going to keep it on line.
Line 1 of 4. Horizontal position of the text label relative to the left grid space border left parent inch right parent edit minus 0.00.
Now, if I wanted to, I could change where these text labels appear on the page.
Vertical position of the text label relative to the upper grid space border left parent inch right parent edit 0.79.
Okay, so similar to how we placed our square.
List of available functions and constants semicolon. By double-clicking an element is inserted at the insertion point in the selected formula list box. Semicolon separation.
Okay, I'm going to pause that. This is where, of course, you can choose where equations or symbols are inserted into your formula.
Double click to insert example formula : list box x-2 1 of 50.
And this is kind of handy. If you have something that's pretty common, x minus 2,
X plus 4 2
x
of
plus
50.
4,
X plus 2 3 of 50.
x plus 2. See, I could have just chosen it from here rather than typing it manually, but I chose to type it manually, but you do have these options.
Grid position and appearance button.
Okay, grid position and appearance.
Horizontal left parent X right parent axis button.
Now this is your horizontal X and your vertical Y axis.
Vertical left parent Y right parent axis button. Renew preview button.
Now there's a renew preview. So I've made this little formula. If I wanted to renew the visual preview and see how it looks if I chose to update some aspects to it, all I would do is press that button and then it would show visually, this is what this now looks like. You know, I can either keep it or I can make additional changes.
OK button.
And then there's an OK button. So again, what we're seeing here and just kind of a recap overview as we conclude today's webinar is we're seeing that Tactile View is very usable by someone who is blind, by someone who uses a screen reader. It's all menu driven. You can move things around manually. You can move things around via menus. You can get additional images from a very easy to navigate small web page that leads you to a catalog. And then if you have an embosser or a Monarch or supported dot pad as well, you can look at these graphs on demand. So this program, I think, brings tactile graphics more into the use case of so many people than was previously possible. So we're so excited to be working with Tactile View and having it alongside embossers. And I hope that this demonstration has been helpful and kind of shown what's possible from a solution standpoint, and then, of course, from a screen reader user standpoint as well.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Michelle. Do we have additional questions or comments?
And I know we're a little bit past the hour here, but if there's any question, we can either take them right now if you're okay with this, Steve, or we can you definitely can contact Rachel or I as well with any other questions.
Sure. Do you want to give folks your contact info if they want to reach out?
Absolutely. If you want to reach out to Michelle, it's michelle.pepin@humanware.com. So MICHEL.PEPIN @humanware.com. And Rachel, it's Rachel Ramos, RACHEL.RAMOS @humanware.com. And of course, you can always use the toll-free number in Canada. I think in the US, it works in the US as well, but 888-723-7273. And my extension is 2331. That rings directly on my cell phone.
All righty. Well, I'll take it from the resounding silence there that there aren't any more questions. Carolyn put up a hand. There we go.
Just really quick, Michelle, could you please repeat the spelling of your last name?
Yes, it is P as in Peter, E, P as in Peter, I, N as in Nancy. Pepin. It's French for apple seed.
So P-E-P.
Really?
P-E-P-I-N.
I-N. Okay,
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yeah. Irene, yeah.
Thank you so much.
No
Awesome.
worries.
Caroline, if you could send me a note so we can work on your Tactile View, that would be awesome.
Yep.
That would be extremely awesome. I will email you.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
There's no other question, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve and Ryan, for hosting this this webinar.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. Visit us online at www.canastech.com or email us at sales@canastech.com. And if you're in the Vancouver area, you can visit our Assistive Technology showroom at number 106, 828 West 8th Avenue in Vancouver.